The novel Little Fires Everywhere was a huge bestseller for author Celeste Ng. Now, Martha Teichner tells us it's become a new television series.
So this is, oh, that's me. Oh, this is the YEH spaghetti dinner, which I think I put into the novel.
Celeste Ng, like most of us,
We're not going to look at that picture. We're just, I'm gonna call a veto on that.
finds her high school yearbook pictures embarrassing.
And we're going to veto that too. Yeah.
I think it's very sweet.
We're not going to show that. In health class, we had to write a letter to ourselves 10 years in the future. So we were 16, and so you wrote a letter to yourself at age 26. I had asked myself, like, so are you a published author yet?
At 26, her answer was no.
That is my freshman English class, actually.
But here she is at 39, back at Shaker Heights High School in February, before coronavirus shut it down,
I love this LeBron mural. It's nice.
signing the library copy of her second mega-bestseller, Little Fires Everywhere.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
It takes place in the Cleveland, Ohio suburb where she lived before going off to Harvard. Hulu has turned the novel into an 8-part miniseries. It begins as the book does, with an actual fire. The plot involves who set it, but more importantly, why.
Every house on Windsor.
Reese
has 2
Witherspoon
families in it.
plays the
Here's
wealthy,
one house.
entitled
It was actually
Elena
designed
Richardson.
That way to avoid any stigma of renting instead of owning.
How thoughtful.
Carrie Washington is artist Mia Warren, who rents an apartment from Richardson.
I love art.
I can tell.
This is what you had in mind?
These are the houses on Parkland Drive that I had in my mind, not any particular one, but this scale of house, the sort of grandeur of it and the beauty of it.
Shaker Heights, by its very nature, is a character in the story, too.
Everyone is, as I understand it, was different. It had to be designed specifically for that spot.
Incorporated in 1912, Shaker Heights was built on the site of an actual Shaker village. It took to heart some of the Shakers' strictly enforced values. Every street was designed so school children never had to cross a major thoroughfare. The grass could be no more than 6 inches high, or a homeowner was fined.
They planned it from the very beginning sort of to be a utopia. I mean, their goal was perfection.
By 1960, it was the wealthiest community in America, where the good life included doing good.
It was known for being a place where diversity was sort of a priority, and that they were working hard to be racially diverse, at least in terms of black and white, and racially aware.
Which is one reason Ng's scientist parents, both immigrants from Hong Kong, chose to live here and to send her to Shaker Heights public schools, among the best in the nation, even though there were few Asian students.
A lot of times, Asian Americans, much like the Latinx population, are sort of this outside party between sort of the bigger questions about black and white race relations.
Banana and a pear.
It was probably inevitable Ng would be a writer.
It's made out of polymer clay, which is soft until you bake it.
Growing up, she made miniature objects for the imaginary occupants of miniature rooms.
Someone's in the middle of shelling some oysters. And then maybe, they're getting ready to cook dinner because there's a steak in the pan. There's a sense that, you see this world and you start to make up a story. And that might have been part of the attraction for me when I was a kid. I was always making up stories about the dolls that lived in the house.
Everything I Never Told You, published in 2014, sold 1 million copies and was chosen Amazon's best book of the year.
That book is very much an exploration of secrets, everything associated with a mixed marriage between a Chinese man and an American white woman.
Well, I started thinking about the family, and they ended up becoming a mixed-race family because I'm in a mixed-race marriage myself.
You won't see pictures of Ng with her family because she's been trolled online.
I've had people send me nasty messages, nasty emails out of the blue, strangers,
Because you are in a mixed marriage.
That's why they say they're angry anyway. I think it really goes much deeper to misogyny and to their questions about what they think women should be allowed to do. And I posted this message on Twitter so that people could see And the good thing that came out of that was that a lot of women, particularly Asian women, wrote to me and they said, I've been harassed like that too.
She's horrified by attacks on Asian Americans prompted by coronavirus.
It makes me feel sad for fellow Asian Americans that we will always be seen as other and as foreign, no matter how long we've been here, no matter what we might be doing to fight this epidemic just like everyone else is.
In the Hulu adaptation of Little Fires Everywhere, one of the plot lines involves a dilemma.
Linda, you have to do this. There's no choice. The judge ordered.
Who deserves to raise a baby girl?
It's only 1 hour.
Her poor Chinese mother,
Come on, baby. Come on.
or the childless, wealthy white couple desperate to adopt her?
I think my job as a fiction writer is to present questions to the reader, more so than to present answers.
Between hardcover and paperback editions, Little Fires Everywhere has spent nearly 2 years on the New York Times bestsellers list. Celeste Ng's success, she hopes, will give her the power to open doors for other Asian American writers.
No one story is going to tell the whole Asian American experience. If I'm offered a seat at the table, I want to make other seats at the table. I guess I want to make more chairs for other people.